Renaissance Engineering Program Live Chat on Student Life. I'm Suhe, an REP student specializing in mechanical engineering, and I'll be your moderator for today. So let's start off with an introduction of the panel members.
Hi everyone, I'm Xin Meng. I'm also a mechanical engineering student.
Hi everyone, I'm Jolene. I'm specializing in chemical engineering.
And I'm Daniel. I'm doing computer science.
So to start off, what attracted you to apply for REP?
I think I can start with that question. So for me personally, the broad-based curriculum that REP offers was a very big attraction. First of all, I get to have a greater appreciation of the vastly different fields of engineering, and I get 1 whole year to explore my options and decide on which specialization I would like to do in the future. And I don't think there are many other courses out there that offer this like REP does. Yes.
For me, it will be the dual degree program. So at the end of the REP curriculum, I get a Bachelor's of Engineering Science in Chemical Engineering for myself, as well as a Master of Science in Technology Management. So the aspect of both being able to study engineering as well as business attracted me into REP.
Yeah, for me it's also the same, pretty much the aspect about the business side and the engineering side. But I think to add on to that was also the very lucrative opportunity to go for exchange abroad for a whole year, which is I think one of the unique selling points of REP, which you don't get outside of REP very often. Yeah, so that was a huge point for me. Yeah.
So just to continue, after joining REP, what do you like most about REP, or was it unique? How is it unique for you? Anyone?
Yeah, I think I can start that. I think for me personally, I really like the tight-knit community that REP has, especially within our own batch. There are many activities, many projects, many extracurricular stuff that we do together as a batch, and that brings us together. And it's really nice, really conducive to be able to work amongst friends. Yeah.
I think I just like to add on to what Simon just mentioned, that in REP itself, because it's made up of mostly talented individuals, it's really a space for you to learn from everybody as well as to develop your interests. So in REP, there's a lot of opportunities. I would say it's one of the minority spaces in NTU or in universities where you can get to try and fail, and everybody is very encompassing. You can learn a lot from everybody. You can learn new things. You can develop your interests and not be worried at all. Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of things that I really like about REP, and I'm not being paid to say it. Okay, this is really, yeah. Like I was just thinking back. I was thinking that REP has been like the best program that I could have signed up for in university, and for many reasons. I think for one, the community aspect of it. I really like that you're here in a close-knit community of really like-minded individuals who you can just run with and really pursue your passions with together. And they'll be the kind of people that will just run with you because we all have similar passions, and we all have that very driven and go-getter attitude that we're just like, okay, we want to do something there. Okay, let's do it. Let's figure out how to get things done. And your friends will support you and be there for you together. And I think that's really a huge plus. And also the fact that REP being one of the premier scholar program in NTU, that we really do have a lot of privilege. That we have access to, for us, the space that we're in now in North Hill, that is really just exclusive for REP, and that we get to do so many things here, have our lessons and have all the project rooms, all the pursuits that we want to have, and the space that's given to us is really it's amazing. On top of all the things that scholarship allow us to pursue, to not have to worry about having a place in hall, to be able to stay in hall and have all your friends all nearby. And that really just facilitates our learning and our growth as individuals, as students, university students. Yeah, I think the REP has just been great for me personally, that I really like a lot. Yeah.
So as an RP student, what are some activities that you have taken part in, or what are some activities that a potential student can expect to participate in? Jolene, do you want to start?
Okay, so within REP itself, we actually have the Renaissance Engineering Club, which is basically a student activities club that aims to organize activities for REP students specifically. So there are many branches within the RE club itself, including the main committee as well as projects. So for main committee, you can expect to participate in mass activities or events such as Chinese New Year gathering, career talks, career sharings, or even company visits organized by both the social welfare as well as business development committee. As for the project wings, we have things like service learning, whether it's local or overseas. We have entrepreneurs clubs. We have repertoire, which is an interest development club where RUP students teach other RUP students about their interests. For example, guitar sharing lessons. And lastly, for events, we also have mass events such as RE Play, which is a sports event with a talent showcase night where all RUP students gather together to have fun together. Yeah.
Okay. I think I can add on to that. So, under RE Club, there are also various projects and subcommittees, right? So, she previously mentioned the local service learning wing. It's called REACH. I was previously the chair of it, and it's aimed at providing a platform for REP students to engage with people outside our sheltered community, and it's a chance for them to provide their service and also to learn from others. And right now, I'm helping out with Makers Club, which is another project that is aimed at cultivating a making and tinkering culture within the REP community. And I think as engineers, that is very important to be able to get your hands dirty and make stuff and be willing to do rather than sit around and think. So yeah, along the way, I think that as an REP student, you'll be given a lot of opportunities to participate in whatever you fancy, basically. There's an opportunity to do anything you want. Do you have anything else to add? Okay.
So, what is the startup culture like in RP? Sigmund mentioned about the makers culture and how we are encouraged to tinker and to do projects that we are interested in. What are potential entrepreneurial opportunities RP students can look forward to?
I can start to answer this question, and it's related to what I've shared earlier about the community of like-minded individuals, and really the fact that like I mentioned, like being in RP, I found like a group of friends that I took part in a lot of competitions with, and some we have won actually, and I think that's really the whole spirit of like can do, go getter, make things happen. Like Sigmund said, you just wait around and wait for things to be spoon-fed to you by the faculty members or by the professors. But you really get down on the ground and just figure things out how to make it happen. And I think that's the closest thing that I can to the startup spirit that I think is most evident and present in RP. And I don't know, maybe Jolene can share more about from the more system side of things.
Okay, so previously I mentioned about RE Club. Within RE Club itself, it actually has an entrepreneurship wing known as RE.Hub. So for RE.Hub, it aims to help students develop their entrepreneur spirit, as well as to connect these individuals with potential, let's say, angel investors and things like that. So whether you are a student which have an idea but you don't know how to start, or whether you just know that you want to start a startup in the future but you currently have no idea, RE.Hub aims to help you connect and organize workshops for you to develop entrepreneurial skills that will help you start your startup in the future. Yeah.
Okay, just some final addition. Makers Club itself, recently we also embarked on this initiative called the Makers Design Project, which is basically an initiative to connect with industries and external organizations to look for problems that they might be having, and to encourage REP students to create create a physical product to help them solve it. So I think this also in part, in some ways contribute to promoting a startup or entrepreneurial culture by teaching students, by encouraging students to solve and do rather than to just sit in class, you know. And of course, I think we also failed to mention that there are like a lot of business management modules, courses that are really essential if you want to start create a startup. Yeah.
Maybe I can add one last thing. Like I just remember, like, I was talking about the community and all that, right? That we actually have like friends and juniors who like from a competition, spun off like a startup idea and all that, and they're currently working on that venture. And so I think that's really like a testament to how important having a community is, and really to find those friends and those people who you can run with. Because I think eventually as a startup, there's like it's known to be like one of the more important things, like your team, right? More so than what you're actually doing, and that's really a benefit RP offers you. Like you get to find your team here, as like many of our friends have done, and I think that's really one of the most important things that we can provide towards entrepreneurship. Yeah.
So one of the key features of RP is to be able to enjoy a year-long overseas exchange in your year 3 program. So right now, RP offers you the opportunity to go to one of 6 different universities, for example, Imperial College London, UC Berkeley, or for example, University of British Columbia in Canada. So what are some key takeaways that you have from your overseas exchange program?
I think all of us just finished our 1-year exchange last year, and we all went to different schools, so I think we have a good spread here. Personally, I went to Northwestern University in Illinois, and the thing that strikes me most about, and also the one thing that attracted me to go there, was their strong design culture. In fact, they are one of the first universities to pioneer the hybrid between engineering and design. So all engineering students in the McCormick School of Engineering has to go through design courses in their 4-year program, and vice versa. So design students will also have to do some hands-on engineering modules as well. And this hands-on design-focused pedagogy is really fresh for me because, I have to admit, like when I was in Singapore, I didn't really like to make things. But when I was in US in Northwestern, I was forced to go to the workshop to make things happen. All the projects that I embarked on required like a product at the end. It was very assignment-based rather than exam-based. So this, in fact, is this design and hands-on culture at Northwestern that sparked my interest in the whole making culture, which prompted me to come back and help out in Makers Club as well. So for any of you who are interested in design, making things, then Northwestern will be a good opportunity for you.
For myself, I went to University of California, Berkeley, in the US as well. And I think for me as a CS student, the choice of Berkeley was pretty straightforward for me, right? Being in the Bay Area and the heart of all things technology there in the US. And I took away many things from my 1-year exchange there, like, not least of all, just having my eyes open and exposed to how big the world really is and how diverse it really is and how different the culture is just from Singapore, and over there, even just in the campus, like how lessons are run, and like the professors and faculty expect students to be able to figure out how to get things done to finish their projects and their tutorials. There'll be a lot of things that are like expected, like for example, like as a CS major, I'm taking a course where I'm not familiar with the prerequisite of a coding language, and you're just expected to be able to pick it up and just go with it. These are the kind of things that you're expected to do the homework, put in the effort, and figure things out for yourself. And I think that was the biggest difference that I learned. That's the whole mindset of the whole campus there and how lessons are conducted. And on top of that, of course, like I saw, I benefited greatly from the how good UC Berkeley was in their CS curriculum, and I've had some of the my best CS courses in Berkeley, to learn from top professors and leading cutting edge researchers in the field, I took courses in AI, cybersecurity, advanced algorithms, and all that, and I really benefited from that. And but more so than all that, because like I said, Berkeley being the in the Bay Area, and there's a huge startup culture in Silicon Valley, the whole entrepreneurial spirit is very evident. I took a course on technology leadership management, and that was for me really one of the most, how would I say, defining courses that I've taken in my university life, and I think it really helped me grow a lot as a person, but also learn a lot as a perspective of a business leader. And I think that because of the way the professor conducted the course, that it helped me benefit a lot from that course. Yeah, so that was really something that I benefited a lot from in Berkeley. So the CS aspect and really the entrepreneurship and the whole mindset experience and having my mind open up to the culture. Yeah. Anyone else like to that?
Okay, I think besides the curriculum itself, what most students who are watching this will look forward to is the fun experience you can get. So for myself, I actually went to University of British Columbia. There are two other points that I want to share that's not really curriculum related, but really eye-opening experience for me. One would be it being very fun in the sense that for me, being in a school in Canada would be closest to nature, as well as experiencing all 4 seasons and studying at the same time, picking up a lot of soft skills on the way, such as self-discipline, how to manage when you are not around your parents, your friends, and things like that. So testing. Yeah. So that was an amazing experience for me. It's something that I will never get to experience in Singapore. The second would be the hands-on experience, like they mentioned. So I think it's a thing in the Western universities that you get to enjoy. We are always put into a lot of I think I always put into a lot of challenges and hands-on experience where you need to tinker on the spot. So including things like even from a chemical engineering perspective, there's a lot of coding involved where the assignments that we need to do and submit on a weekly basis will involve coding. So these are things that for myself, I didn't have the experience beforehand. So having to do that on the spot, learning from the friends, and was a whole new experience for me. Oh, and just one point that just came to my mind would be that for me, UBC is a university where it's full of exchange students. So the people I meet in class every day, I think 80% of them are actually exchange students rather than locals. So I really get to talk to different students from different cultures and learn about their hometown, where they come from, and also their university backgrounds. Like different universities have different studying styles. Some might be more project-based, some might be more lecture-based, and all this helps to consolidate my learning and my perspective of the world. Yeah.
Sure. So just to sum up, I think no matter which university you go to, you get to immerse yourself in the culture of that area, get to make friends who are of a totally different backgrounds, who have different interests, who value different things, and it's very eye-opening for you to be able to interact with such people. I think because back in NTU, you only interact with people who are of the same community. So for example, NTU students, I'll interact with Singaporeans, for example. But when you go overseas to whatever overseas exchange universities, you get to talk to people who would think things differently, or who would prioritize different things. And there is a need for you to reconcile these thoughts with others, and yet at the same time be able to accept the different cultures, and you will get a very unique and learning experience for yourself as a person. So we can move on to the next question. One concern that people have is about the typical work week of RP students. Could you all share more about what is it like, or how the school life is like for an RP student? workload is manageable. Yeah, okay.
Interesting. Okay, so REP's work life as a student is very unique, of course, because of the way our program is uniquely structured. Like I think Simon mentioned about the first year, you really get that's when you first come in and you get the most you're fully immersed in REP because you're exclusively taking REP courses in engineering. What I mean by that is that in the first year, you take courses from all sorts of engineering disciplines, from electronics to computer engineering to biochemical engineering and so on and so forth. And these courses are basically specially structured, especially formulated for REP. Right? No one else in the university takes that, so it's exclusive for REP. And you're learning all the different engineerings in the first year, together with like a couple of business modules. And I think that's the part where we feel will be most intense so far, in a sense that it's most rich as well, right? Because you're trying to get your hands dirty and know which discipline you want to major in for the rest of your university life, right? So I think in that sense, because of the fact that it's all REP and most of the time we're coming together and it's a hands-on learning style, team-based learning, where yes, okay, your timetable will be a bit more structured and be more filled in that you have to be in class, present in class, right? So that's on the first year side of things, right? But after the first year, you get to choose your specialization, like I mentioned, there's mechanical engineering, I'm in computer science, and there's chemical engineering and all that. So once you specialize in your specialization in year 2 onwards, the majority of your time will actually be spent on taking the mainstream specialization courses. So for example, for me, I'm just taking computer science courses that the rest of the university students take. So when it comes to that, it's a bit more flexible in the sense that, well, yes, there are some prerequisite courses that you have to clear. By and large, you are able to plan your own learning, what courses you want to take, and your timetable in that sense. So in this sense, it's a little bit more similar to the rest of the university in that you get to plan your own timetable, right? But having said that, of course, due to the requirements that we are clearing our masters in 4.5 years. On average, we are slightly taking more units than the average university student, right? So it's really not too bad at all. But in a sense, yeah, year 2 onwards you specialize. Then of course, year 3 you go to exchange, so it's different. And then you come back in year 4 onwards, and again you're clearing a few more specialization courses, and then it's gearing up more towards back to the master's courses where you're having RB courses again. But I think once you come back from exchange year 4, the workload wise is not as heavy as the first year. So in a sense, it's a little bit more light, and you are usually more involved in the other aspects of your university life once you come back. This is what I observed based on myself, my own experience, and from my friends. Would anyone like to add on to that?
Yeah, so I think like what Dan said, I think the first year is probably the toughest year, but that's also because for a first year student, university student coming in, you're still adjusting to the university life, the way courses are held, the way things are taught in university, and also maybe you're like still a bit lost, looking for a way around. So for year 1 it's definitely the toughest, but even then, as long as there is proper time management, I think there'll be plenty of time to pursue things outside of academics, and also to get like your sufficient 7 or 8 hours rest every day. So yeah, it's not like it's not horrible. Yeah.
Just to share a bit more about how like lessons are conducted, right? So like the common one which university usually adopts is the lecture and tutorial style. So you go to lecture, or there's a recorded lecture and there's the notes, and you learn it, and then you go for tutorial, right? So there's 2 in a week. So that's the default common style. And I think on top of that, the more common style is like unique to RP, like I mentioned, the team-based learning, which is basically we are encouraged to do our learning outside before class, right? The materials will be released beforehand. So there's recorded lectures, something called LUMS, which is basically an online module, which we consume the material before class, And what that allows us to do is that when we come to class, we really engage in really team-based learning, as the name says. You come here, and as you can see that this is a round table. Your group is seated in this round table, and which is to facilitate the discussion between you and your fellow peers, and to learn from each other, and not just be spoon-fed by your professors. To really tussle with the material between you and your peers. And I think that enriches the whole learning process much more. More than just a one-way lecture and a tutorial style. And I think that's what's really unique about RP. Yeah, and that's how lessons are conducted a lot of times in RP. Jody, you want to add on?
I think Denzel just mentioned what I wanted to add on, but I think about the team-based learning thing, I think a worry from many of the people, as well as the juniors that have just entered RP, is that if I have to do the learning before coming to class, does it make the work more hectic? So I think partially it does, but I really, really appreciate the team-based learning thing, because learning beforehand means that when I enter the classroom, I would know I have specific questions or areas that I do not understand that I can ask, compared to a normal lecture and tutorial lesson format, where the professor goes through everything, and let's say there's this particular concept that a lot of students just find it very difficult to grasp. There's no chance for you to ask, or you can only ask it after class, but those are very short time span for you to ask those questions. But in REP, because you come to class, you have these burning questions. First, you get to discuss in your group, and you find out whether you have misconceptions. You find out things that sometimes students are able to put it in a better way than a prof will put it per se. So you actually learn this better from your classmates. Then later, if everyone has the same confusion, you escalate it to your professors. So professors spend more time clarifying the students' doubts, rather than just going through materials that they don't actually know whether students understand or not. So I think that's a very unique part about RP.
So okay, for me, just to add on, I would say that TBL really drives you to contribute and to voice out any opinions that you have, because if you're not proactive, you will just be absorbing, and that will be similar to a lecture style tutorial. But for you to make the best worth of an REP curriculum, you'll come to class, you'll be very proactive in any questions that you have, or proactive in sharing your knowledge. And one thing that I believe has been repeated throughout is that REP is a community full of very brilliant individuals, and everyone has their knowledge in the different specialties or different areas. So REP having TBL, team-based learning, allows people to share their expertise and to contribute what they know about their area, which is something that may not be as prominent in a regular tutorial lecture style discussion. Okay, so just to move on, maybe you can ask, so one key feature that was mentioned is that we get to enjoy a broad array of engineering topics in the first year before we choose to specialize. So for example, we have things like computer engineering, mechanical engineering modules, civil engineering modules, and this allows you to take a deeper look or delve deeper into this industry or this specialization. So would you say that you enter RP knowing which engineering specialization you were going to go into, or you had this thought process and then when you came in, it has changed?
Okay, so for me, this was yes. Short answer is yes, right? So yes, that it did change my mind, right? It did give me new insights that made my decision, right? So coming in, I thought I wanted to do electrical and electronics engineering, EEE, right? I like computer science, I like programming, I had exposure to that, but I thought that my main thing that I wanted to do was EEE, right? And then coming in, and for our year, we had quite a couple of RP modules in the first year, right? So that gave me a really good handle on what it feels like. And after that, it was really after that I realized that, EEE really wasn't for me. And I'm glad that I took the first year to really learn that about myself, and then to have decided CS and something that I continue to fall in love with more every day as I study it. That was really, it's like, wow, thank goodness that I had that chance to decide, to learn about it before I actually decided, right? And so yeah, that was a very clear-cut benefit for me that I got to experience that before I made my choice.
I think for a majority of us, it is this exposure that is unique and we are very thankful for. So for myself, I didn't know what engineering I wanted to do in the first place. I only knew I like physics and math. That's why I'm in engineering. But this 1 year allowed me, exposed me to the various engineerings where I learned about things like, yes, I don't like triple E. I don't like to look at a circuit breadboard every single day. I don't like com science. Okay, I like com science, sorry, but I don't envision myself sitting in front of a computer 24/7 just staring at the screen. So that's why I didn't take CS. For example, let's say mechanical engineering. I knew I wasn't a visualization person after taking a couple of mechanical engineering mods. So I thought I wouldn't be interested in it. I wouldn't do well in it. And yeah, and later I ended up in chemical engineering.
The process of elimination.
I think I came in thinking I'll be an aerospace engineer, and thank God I'm not. I'm a mechanical engineer now. I'm very happy about that decision. Yeah, so I think for a lot of people, they change their minds after the first year just by taking some modules and getting to know each individual specialization more. Yeah.
I think what really helped us is that the modules that we take, they're not just superficial, like quick run-throughs of the specialization, right? I think that, like I say, it's especially created for REP, and the profs really take a lot of time to give us really an in-depth knowledge, right? We got exposure to some like higher level topics, like year 3, year 4 topics. Some of it, of course, this is not over. Like but you kind of get a good grasp, a good handle of what the field will be like if you really go into it. Yeah, which really helped us, right? It's not just a superficial, surface level run through, which really helped. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So, what drew you to REP? So specifically in the engineering aspect, why would you choose REP as compared to any other mainstream engineering programs? Since you all knew that you all wanted to do engineering, right? But why REP as compared to a regular mainstream engineering?
So, like I believe me and Jolene pointed out specifically, that aspect of the business side really makes one of the biggest difference, if not the biggest difference, right? That you don't just come in here as an engineer, right? The whole mission and the reason for REP is not just to be an engineer, right? There's nothing wrong being an engineer, but I would say that if you know that you want to be an engineer full time, maybe it would be more beneficial for you to be in an engineering course. Right? If you want to come REP, if you want to be a business leader in the technology industry, right? Does not mean that if you come in here and you cannot graduate and be an engineer, you can, right? It gives you it equips you the skills that you need to be an engineer as well. But I think the main thing is to be an engineering leader, right? That's the whole raison d'etre for REP, right? That's why we graduate with a master's in technology management. That's why we have such a huge emphasis on business as a pillar of REP, right? That's the whole half of REP that you have to take into account if you want to come to REP, and that's what really differentiates it. And like me and Jolene mentioned, that was actually why we want to come to REP, not just the engineering side, right? And if nothing else, to have that 1 year of exposure before you decide what engineering you want to do, it's also beneficial. Like we just covered in the last question. Yeah, so all these reasons, I think it's clear what differentiates REP from just a normal engineering course. Anyone want to say anything?
Sorry, just to ask, right? So I'm asking this for any potential students. So when you graduate from junior college or from poly, right? How do you know that you have a passion for engineering in that sense? So for example, I think all of you mentioned that you wanted engineering and business, for example. But how do you even know that you wanted something that's related to these two fields?
I didn't get answer.
I think like Joe mentioned, she was interested in physics and maths. So maybe that's I think a common study ground for many people, right? I like physics and maths, therefore I go into engineering, right? Which is not wrong. It's not wrong. Honestly, it works out for a lot of our peers, right? You like physics and maths, there's a good chance that you will like engineering, and I think, but yeah, of course there are other ways to find out that you're into this, right? And I think it will be really good, right? If you have the time, I'm not sure if it's too late, but if you have the time, you can talk to peers, you can talk to seniors. This one way you can find out more. You can engage if you still have time for an internship, maybe, which is actually what I did. I was a short internship stint even before university. in DSO, which is why where I knew I liked the engineering aspect of things. Or like in general, if you have the passion for technology, like for me, I also was inspired a lot by people like Steve Jobs at that point, right? Which was why I knew I wanted to be in the technology industry, to be creating. Yeah, I think this goes beyond the scope of REP, but I guess this was how I knew I wanted to be in the technology industry, the engineering industry, right? I nearly went into physics, then I thought about it. That I think I'm a more hands-on person. Yeah, I think that's what, like for me, like yeah, I was thinking back at that point in time, and I realized that when as a kid, oh, I really like building Lego, right? That kind of thing. It's like it's all these like little cues and markers you have in your whole 18 years of life at this point, roughly about there. Just look back and realize what are your natural tendencies, And I think it's easy to fall into the pressure of like, this is what my environment around me expects me to be. So I strive to be more this way and that way. And by the end of the day, if you take that outside, what was your true tendencies and what your natural inclinations? I think that will be the clearest and truest signal of whether engineering is for you. Yeah, whether you like that systematic thinking, a systematic approach of doing things. Those are all cues. I think similar something like that.
Yeah. I think for me, I knew I wanted to be an engineer since young, so that was not difficult to answer. But I think that the main thing about engineering that sets it apart from other fields is that it's focused on solving real world problems. Engineering at the end of the day is always about solving a problem that people have. It drives technology. So if you like physics and math, yes, that is a good start to engineering. But physics and math ultimately still deal with the theoretical, what could be. Whereas engineering realizes that into something that you can use, touch, feel, something that helps others, help improve lives. So if you know that that's what you want to do, to turn ideas into reality, then engineering then you should pursue engineering. Yeah, simple as that.
So I think just to add on, if you are ever unclear of what you want, or you want to really get a better understanding of potential, like you want to speak to people who have actually taken engineering courses, you can actually contact us via our Facebook or Instagram page, or you can send in your questions through Slido, and students or people who have better knowledge of the question that you have will be able to answer the questions and give you a better grasp of what courses you should be approaching, or what courses you can consider based on your likes and dislikes and your interests. So the next question we have is, what's the culture like in REP? And as previously mentioned, we have like a broad group of individuals who have a certain way of thinking, who are very like-minded. What do you think about this, and is there anything that you would like to add on for it? Maybe Danny, you start?
What is culture like in RP? It's great. It's really it's great. It's great if you are self-driven. It's great if you are a go-getter and you like to make things happen. It's probably not for you if you want to be if you are more used to just learning like passive learning. I don't mean that in a bad way for passive learning. That's just how some people learn better, and in that sense, I think RP would not benefit you, and I would not recommend it per se. So, and I think you make the most out of RP by taking initiatives, making things happen, pursuing what you want, and that just I think sums up the culture like in RP. And I think on the people side, I think everyone here is friendly. Like I don't know if you hear about like stories about like, if you're in other faculties, like your fellow peers don't help you with your coursework, and that's really quite sad to hear, and because that's really like complete opposite of the reality here in RP. I'm not sure if it's because most of the RP courses there's no bell curve. I'm not sure that's the case, or maybe people here are just generally nicer. Which I choose to believe it is, right? But I think that's the reality that we all face. Everyone helps out everyone here, and that whole collaborative work, the whole mindset of wanting to help each other. It's a reality. It's not something that we're just saying it and we don't experience. But we're all friends here beyond classmates, and and if you think about it, like maybe if you're in if you come from like secondary school or like JC, right, where you have a class, you have a set class, and those are the classmates, and that's really kind of the environment here because we have a batch of like 50, 60, and you take all the RB mods together, right? You are friends first and foremost, right? And you care about each other, you care about each other, the community is such that we care about the people here, and you feel at home here, I think because our halls, our dogs are just next door, and in this whole compound, everything is here, and it's like very family-like. These are just things I'm adding on beyond what we already shared previously, right? Just from what people expect, and yeah, I think you can see their heads nodding. I think this is the reality. I'm not being paid to say it. I just want to put out there. Yeah, RP is great. Anyone?
I think something that Dan Sai mentioned here is probably like everyone here is quite open-minded. So if there's something you are interested in, something you want to discuss, something you want to say, like it's okay to just say it. No one will judge you for it. Basically, you are free to be the person you want to be, essentially. So I think that's also something that is important. You don't need to put on a front in front of your classmates. Yeah.
So I think just to conclude all the points is RP is a very collaborative environment and everyone's very genuine in their pursuit for knowledge. So just to ask, for students who are thinking of staying in hall, for example, what are the accommodations like for RP students or in general for an NTU student?
Okay, I think what's different first for REP and NTU students is that for NTU students, if you apply to hall, you get guaranteed hall stay for year 1 and 2, whereas in REP, you get guaranteed hall stay throughout your entire 4.5 years. On top of that, for the first year, REP students are encouraged to stay in the Northview facilities, which is really near to where you study. So that's an advantage for REP students. You are near your hall, you come down to the REP facilities where just now we mentioned these tables or the discussion rooms. You can just go ahead and discuss about your projects, any interests you have, any questions you have, anything at all. So that's the reality of REP student and staying in Northview.
So I think people are questioning whether or not hall stay is compulsory. It is not compulsory for you to stay in hall, but we would definitely encourage you to stay in hall because basically you are able to enjoy this vibrant hall and school life outside of like your normal curricular activities. So for example, in hall you get to enjoy hall activities like any sports that you want to play. For example, I'm in hall softball and we got champions last year. Just like to sound that out, but you really get the opportunity to expose yourself to different curricular activities that you would not be able to enjoy if you do not stay in hall.
Yeah. And then on top of all the hall activities, also like more on the RP side of things, like staying in hall has made pursuing the projects and all the combinations that I've been a part of that much easier because everyone is there, right? Everyone's here, and the project rooms where we come here and meet, it's just literally like the building beside, and it just makes it so much more efficient. And if you imagine everyone just stays everywhere in Singapore, and you want to find a common place to meet up, and there's just a lot of inefficiencies that comes with it, right? Yeah, and that's the whole purpose of this facility here that we have in Northview, right? To just make this collaboration just so much easier. Yeah.
So another question that they have, as mentioned earlier, we actually get to enjoy a whole myriad of activities outside of REP. I think one concern that people have is, do you even have time for things outside of REP? And our consensus is definitely yes, but the thing is you have to manage your time better, and that's something that is applicable for any university students. So the question that we have received also is, why is the REP environment like for girls in general? I think that stems from a concern that in general, engineering have more guys than girls? And is it difficult for girls to cope with it, or would it be a different learning environment as compared to JC or poly, for example? Jimmy, do you have an answer to that?
Okay, I think where this question is coming from would be the fact that because there are more guys, is it more difficult for girls to speak up and things like that? So I would say that from my own experience and what I observed from my classmates, the other batches and things like that, it has never happened for girls. There's no difference whether you are male or female, whether you are disadvantaged when you come into REP because it's a majority guys program. But what I would say is that for all students, all genders alike, what you need to do yourself is to be able to speak up. So let's say in group discussions, if you never ever speak up, you will never ever get your ideas across, what you think across, and people will never know what you want, and maybe that's when you will feel a bit discouraged. You will feel that people are not respecting you, people don't understand you, and things like that. So that's one word of advice. If you enter REP, you need to be able to, I would say, socialize, be brave and courageous about your ideas, be able to share them with one another, and never be afraid of being put down by others, because at least that doesn't happen in REP. People always appreciate a different point of view, and they are proud that you are willing to share what you have. Yeah. Sophie, you know anything there?
Only other girl in the panel. I have to admit that I have to agree with Jolene in the sense that RP, the culture is that you have to be very proactive in your learning. You have to be able to voice out your opinions or anything like that. And that is the case for every single student, no matter a guy or a girl. So it is not in the sense disadvantageous for girls, but it is something that you have to learn to deal with, and something that requires you to train your resilience, train your ability to speak up and be confident in whatever you think. So I think we have reached time. That's all we have. Thank you for tuning in, and we just want to say that if you have any questions, you can look up, or for any information, you can look at our Facebook, Instagram page, or you can continue sending questions through Slido and you'll get a reply. So thank you for your time.
Finish. Nice finish.